Hello and welcome to a special episode of My Backstage Pass. This is your host, Billy Hubbard, and I'm here with my lovely co-host wife, Sarah. Today we have two of our good friends, singer-songwriter Billy Droze and his manager Donna Sue Roberts with us. Billy's had 15 number one hit songs. He's a record label owner and signed many great bluegrass artists himself. He's toured with over 25 years, and he has 16 albums to his credit. Then he hosted the 2018 ICMA Awards with Ron DeVinci. Hey guys, we really appreciate you being here with us today.
Absolutely. It's
We're glad
so
to
good
have
to be
you
with
guys.
Yeah, we're still hanging out after a great show last night, sold out show at the station in East Tennessee with your band Kentucky Blue. And you guys have played several times, but you guys have got a unique blend of country and bluegrass. I mean, sometimes you got full-blown bluegrass, and sometimes you have some cool country stuff going on. Last night you threw in a little George Jones there, I think. So
Yeah, man, it's just all for the love of music. I mean, sometimes it's like these like real hot blues influences in the music, and I wanted to create a band that could kind of cover, cross genres, just make music for what music is, and I think that's what we've accomplished with the group Kentucky Blue. We go under the umbrella of bluegrass, but it's country, it's blues, it's got rock elements. It is what it is. We're just thankful that we can be out there and entertain folks and make music that'll touch people.
yeah, and man, you got such a great bunch of guys. I mean, a band that gets along. You guys seem like you're all brothers or something. You got, of course, your wife Maria. She went to the show last night, but we got Mike Summer. Man, he's awesome on banjo.
Yes, he
You got
is.
James, whose name I can't pronounce.
James Saliga,
Okay, that's his name.
Greg Martin, and
Yeah.
Mike Sumner.
Yeah,
And
man.
occasionally we'll put a fifth piece in the band, either dobro or fiddle, just for ornament, if you will. But we just have a lot of fun out there. We make music from our hearts, and we're not one of those bands that like just go overstudy the music. We get in front of an audience, and they trust me enough to know that I know after 25 years of doing this stuff that I know I feel like I can feel what the crowd wants to hear.
Yeah, man.
Try
You know
to make
what?
that music.
A lot of people can play good music, but everybody's not an entertainer. And as anybody who was at the show last night, man, they were.
You had the crowd.
Yeah, that's what I was
You
going to
had
say.
a meeting
the
out of your
crowd
hand.
was
They
just
were-
loving it.
Oddly enough, I worked for a guy a few weeks ago, and we talked, and he was asking me about when you were coming, not about the fall season. He wanted to know when you were coming.
Aw.
And he was there last night with 6 of his friends because I worked for him and I helped him.
Yeah.
So but it was a business it was a business thing, but they were so excited because they wanted to see you. They've seen you every time, and they had the best time last night.
I loved how the crowd was interacting with them and just
it
really
was the
getting
6
into
of
it.
them that were that kept standing up in the back.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I
remember this.
But what I will tell you, what I saw, my highlight was when Greg's daughter came.
Oh, yeah.
And played
yeah.
her fiddle, but she was great and her confidence was amazing. But what impressed me was how all of your band looked at her like, I will kill anybody
Yeah.
who touches this child. Because we are all proud of her.
How old was she?
She's
10?
10. Yeah. The cool thing about that is like there's shows that that's why I love the station, because the station is one of those places that you can do that. You can showcase that little girl and her, newly found love for bluegrass or country music, and she's up there doing her thing. And we can't do that all the time, unfortunately,
No, of
because
course.
sometimes it's like it's a different show.
Just has to
and-
be in that.
But
that
I'm thankful
right.
that the station is a place that you
Yes,
could do that.
yes.
Because our next show will have Jason Coleman and his son Avery will be playing
Yeah.
the piano.
Yeah.
And it's awesome to see these little kids. But what I loved was how much your band loved that little girl and how you were collectively proud of her. That it felt so family to me. That's why I'm speaking about your band.
We are
just
like
felt
a
family.
bunch of gypsies that just go on the road, and nobody messes with Madeline around us.
Or any of those, all of the kids that were there. They were all very tight. But I love the family that your band is.
Yes.
The last few years, people are, like she said, asking, and so that's why we want to try to get your message and your music out there, because you've got everything that people are going to love. They just got to discover you, and so and you've got. I was looking at I loved your last album because it had the name Billy in it, and
I wonder why.
I just kind of like hearing that sound. I don't know what it is, but
I remember when I was in second or third grade. That song was huge on the radio, and it was called "I Miss Billy the Kid."
Oh,
and they were all making fun of me because I was that name in that song, and they're like, you're that guy from that song. I'm like, long story short, years and years and years later, that was a mega hit in the 90s, of course.
Oh yeah.
And I called up Billy Dean, who had that hit when I was in kindergarten.
Oh, really?
And I said, "Dude, would you sing this with me?" And he's like, "Absolutely, I'd love to." And so I was like, "Oh my God, I'm talking to that guy. You got me picked on in kindergarten," and it was amazing. He just jumped on it and sang, and it. A lot of times people will hear that recording off that vinyl record that we did. That's on vinyl, of course, and I'm so thankful.
Oh man,
that was
that's
my
cool.
first vinyl.
I got one down there. Yeah.
But they were like, "Are you the guy singing the first verse?" And I'm like, "I'm not." And that's Billy Dean. That's that cat from the 90s. And
wow,
he's still
man.
kicking. And I was talking to Teddy Gentry the other day, and he's like, "Hey, do you want to cut some Billy Dean songs?" And I'm like, "Do you know?" He said, "Do you know Billy Dean?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know Billy Dean. I just cut a song with him. He's great." So it's neat.
Man.
So that's where that came from.
Well, that's
Billy the
cool.
Kid.
Well,
That's very interesting.
Yeah, it's always a rabbit hole in music. Like you could just follow it down as far as it wants to go.
I love that though. That is challenging.
Like I was reading some of your, of course I've known you for a while, but I was refreshing myself. I didn't know you started out so young though. Did I read that correct? 4 years old or something? Your dad that took you out with him on the road?
Yeah, well, we had this is so funny because one of them resurfaced not long ago, and it was really neat because it was a business card that my dad had made at like this Arab, Alabama printing company, and it was me and him, and it looks like Timothy, Donna, you know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. But Timothy, like 4 years ago, Timothy's my son, but this business card said, "Brother Bob and Little Bill singing in your church for the glory of God." And it was amazing. Aww. And it was this little business card, and I have one at my studio. It resurfaced. That's how long I've been doing it, and it just blew my mind because my dad was the driving force behind my music and what
and I never
done.
got to meet him.
You never did?
Cool.
No, but you know what was cool? He sent me. Remember the video you sent me the other night where Sierra Farrell is dancing in the audience,
and my daddy's singing,
and his dad
Really?
singing.
Yeah,
really cool video.
Y'all got to meet him.
We got to. Yeah, we. I was going to ask you about
So this
that.
is on or off the record. Did he hit on you?
No, he was so
Okay, good.
sweet. He was
was
very
impressed with him.
he was very quiet, and Robbie had a hold of him.
Good.
Or they had a hold of each other.
My dad
they were
really
just-
liked to hit on females, and
Well,
so,
he was
and that's no knock. That's just my father.
He was such a sweet little man. I mean, I really enjoyed him. And
Were you upset that he didn't?
Dadgummit, now that you mention it, maybe.
Off topic. That's just fun stuff.
But seriously, to have him stand and play with you that night, I took a lot of pictures that night.
We have some
And
good
I
video
sent
of
them
it,
to you. I mean, and then we had a video, because I just kept feeling like, what an honor. What an honor. And
He was the OG. He was old school, and he was great. My gosh,
he was great.
He could sing it at 89. He sang better than most folks.
And not even affected by. He didn't even look at the crowd. He just stood there with his eyes
Was
closed.
he 89 when he was at the station?
Probably 88.
88, yeah.
Wow,
I
he's
think.
got
'Cause,
there
no, it
like
was his
a-
birthday. It was his birthday, I think.
September 21st would be his birthday.
Yeah, so I thought it was his 88th birthday
That's
that he was
crazy.
playing at the station.
You know, when you watch me perform, I'm making all these faces and I'm jiggling and whatever I'm doing up there, I don't know. It's just how I have to get it out.
It's music.
My dad
I call it
didn't-
transcending.
Yeah.
My
Oh,
dad didn't
yeah.
make a face. My dad was just like straight faced, and he was just singing his butt off.
Yeah, he just
It
did.
was nuts.
You know what?
And he always made fun of me. He's like, Billy, you look like you're like it's like an exorcism going on. But he was the most. I got to tell you a story because it's the best story ever. He was the most proud father. You know, it was amazing, and to lose that was awful. But
Of course.
he was the driving force. I remember I was building him a house at one time.
We stayed
What?
in his house.
Did you?
Yeah, yeah.
So-
we stayed there with Donna and
That was-
and Deb. Yeah,
Yeah.
That was his house?
yeah. That
Yeah.
was his house.
It used to be a horse stable, but
It
y'all
was
stayed
cool.
in.
No, it was cool.
So you know the little window above the stove?
yeah.
Okay. Well, that wasn't there at first. He wanted this window so bad, and he kept messing with me because my dad always got what he wanted, and he'd say, "Billy, I want a window over that stove so I can look out and see the deer and stuff in the morning." And I found him a window on Facebook Market. It was $88. I'll never forget this. He,
$1.95.
yeah.
95.
He goes to get this window, and my dad always bragged on me, like everywhere he went. I think that's how he got chicks, because he was just like, "Hey, my
You're like
son's
his
a
puppy dog.
yeah." I was like, "Yeah, I was a pivot man, but I wasn't there."
Kind of like his Timmy.
I get well. So anyway, he goes, "Hey, well, my son," he goes to get this window, and this window is nice. It's $88 window, and he's paying the guy, and he goes, "My son's a bluegrass star." Right, you know, and he's got 15 number ones, you know, like he's trying to pour it on thick. He goes, the guy he's buying the window from, he goes, "Well, my son has 40 number ones." And he goes, my dad goes, "Who in the hell's your son?" And he says, "My son's Jason Aldean."
Oh, no.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Oh
And
my God, that's wild.
so my dad only could think of, he's like, "Is that guy where everybody got shot up in Las Vegas?" And I said, "Dad, do not say that. Do not say that." But it was after the fact, and the guy called me with the window, and he goes, "Hey, who did I just meet?" And I said, "You just met my dad. You just got bobbed. You just got Bob Droze."
Bob, yeah.
And so anyway, that
Wow.
was longer than we would
Wait a minute.
usually talk about pops. But anyway,
Wait a minute,
my
makes
dad
me
was
wonder
awesome.
about
That is
Jason.
incredible.
Jason
His-
Aldean, his dad telling him to sell windows for $88.
That's what I was wondering.
I'm worried about.
But Billy
That's
Droze's
awesome.
dad is going to find windows for $88 on Facebook Market. So there you go.
Hey, man, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Well,
His dad would have done the same thing.
well, that was Bob. I just remember when he got up to sing there, I was so impressed. He just
Oh, he
like,
was so good.
he just like made it. It was natural. And he got up,
He
and I
just-
thought, how can you remember all those lyrics? Because I remember at one point I thought I had a photographic memory. Then after I started thinking, I thought, well, I got, but I don't have any film in my camera. But
Now,
your dad
played,
just
he played mandolin, right?
No, my daddy played guitar.
played
Guitar. Okay.
But he had one speed. My dad would, when he played rhythm, like if it was a fast song, he would just speed up his slow tempo. So he never understood like the socials of how to really get in there and play rhythm. And it was so funny because for years I just was like, "Dad, you're not doing that right." And he was like, "Oh, the hell are you, Bill? Where's the women?" And I was like, "No, you're not. It's like this tempo is this tempo." And he never learned those things. But you know, even in the Bible, it says your children will surpass you, you know? And I remember that Bible verse, and I'm thinking, I surpassed his butt on guitar because I learned waltzes and I learned rhythms. You know, my daddy had one speed. He just
didn't
slowed
care.
it up. Slowed it up or sped it up. That's it. But oh my gosh, I loved my daddy today.
No, he was a joy to have here.
He was.
We
Well,
enjoyed him very much.
Absolutely.
Well, now, okay, I just got to give myself a little pat on the back for, connected you and Donna Sue together. Of course,
Yes.
last night, of course, we kind of, Donna, if she had a hat, she's going to have it resized because we just bragged on her so much. But
It was a Donna day.
yeah, but I mean, well, Donna, this is my grandpa when I was a kid. You know, we had this mule he had a mule. I didn't, and he tried to get to plow this row. And Billy, it's not knocking you or anything. I just know musicians are a certain way, but but he would like give those commands and sound like some foreign language, and then I said, well, actually I called him Papa. I said, well, what's going on? And why won't he move? And he said, well, I got to go over here and get a stick first. And he kept the mule, he went up and got a stick and he whapped it in the head. It wasn't like a big stick. And then it would like take off and plow the row. So I just wondered, Donna, is that seem like what it takes to manage
Billy
a wild
Droze?
man like Wild Billy?
No, but I do think you gave me the advice that if you can harness a mule,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
you did give me that advice.
Oh,
But
and
you
he
know-
does live in
He
Columbia.
will be the best,
Well, yeah, a mule.
the best there is.
When you have like a strong mule, and that's the thing, you got to harness the energy or, it's going to. But
My
anyway.
granddaddy was a mule breeder in Columbia.
Really? Right down the road from where I live today. That's awesome.
So,
No, I
Well-
just try to inspire Billy,
Well,
keep
yeah.
him motivated, keep him in a positive place.
But as I'm kind of an amateur artist, and as I don't know, I think I would be hard to manage because I know.
I'd probably agree with that.
The reason I thought you were so good was because you were so annoying when you were trying to booking.
I love he said annoying, Donna.
No,
Donna
that's
thinks
good.
I'm
Why
out
was
to
I
get her.
annoying to you?
Well, I don't want to I'm just saying. No, I'm saying no. You're like you're just persistent. I should say persistent.
Persistent.
I don't
is
mean
what he
annoying,
meant to
but
say.
like I was saying, if you're an artist and you're looking for a manager, sometimes you don't want the most. Everybody tends to go towards the nice, warm, fuzzy, but you need somebody that's going to know. Be persistent.
Be persistent.
You
I
need someone-
called you and I said, Billy Hubbard, I'm at a point in my career where I want to find a new manager, and I'll never forget it. And you put me on the trail of Donna, and we had one conversation, and I was getting ready to go to the movies with my kids and my wife, and I talked to Donna for about 5 minutes, and I remember just clicking. It just clicked. It was like God said, "Hey,
Yeah.
that's it. Do that." And I mean, Donna, I've been in like the spotlight since I was 5, so like it's nothing new to
yeah.
me. Donna has a problem with like the spotlight. She for her, she wants it for me. She doesn't want it for her. That makes her a great manager.
We're trying to put her in the spotlight right
That's
now.
actually true because I talk to her behind the scenes, and that's what I hear.
Yeah,
And that's exactly
Oh.
correct about her.
yeah. Well, she and
She's
that's great.
kicking you all the way out in the light.
Yeah, kicking me is right. She kicks me a lot. But the thing is, I believe that was a godsend, and I'm so thankful that all these dots connected, and I was able to get to work with Donna. It's when
It's been
you
fun.
use the term annoying, but
I
No,
didn't mean it.
he's teasing
I'm sorry.
her.
I was teasing her. Yeah.
He's teasing her.
but what you meant was persistence.
Yeah.
This lady is a bulldog, and she makes stuff happen.
That's what I've been telling her for years.
Well, yeah.
I've
well, she's
never known
That's a good
anybody.
term.
Is bulldog a good term?
Hey, listen,
kidding.
I've never known anybody more. What I've been saying the last several days, any more tenacious.
Yeah, tenacious.
I mean, tenacious.
Tenacity is the word for sure.
It's not even. It's not an arrogant pursuit of just stepping on people to get where she
No,
wants to go. It's not that at all. She absolutely says, "Hey, guess what? I'm going to be a building block for you. I'm going to push, and I'm
Yes.
expecting you. We're all going to push together."
She believes in what she's selling.
Yeah.
And,
She believes in you.
and that's a beautiful thing. And I just hope that I can continue to make her believe in me, because if I lose Donna, I'll probably quit.
Well, what my thought was, because we have a lot of artists, people listen to the podcast, and as, that's why I brought up this, was because I feel like we want someone warm and fuzzy, but typically you're going to get, like, if you get an agency, they're going to have multiple employees, and they're not going to be, and they're not really going to be. You're lucky to get someone that will be just focused on what you
Build a relationship.
Yeah, build a relationship, and plus push you, just like if you're going to the gym working out. It's not necessarily fun. That's who you want to look for, in my opinion. And I don't think.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a traditional like
Not at all.
Nashville manager, and I know that, and I know what I'm up against a lot when
Actually, you
I'm
have
in
your
those
finger.
crowds.
I
know.
see that you have your finger on the pulse more than anybody I've seen out there.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, and we bump into a couple people at a time, and most people are just kind of bebopping along, just doing their thing. And it's not just about social media. It's the approach that you take to it.
And some managers can be like pushy. Donna's not pushy. She might be pushy like with venues and like, hey, you got to get my boy on this show or whatever. But with the way she approaches management, from artist to management, or manager to artist, it's not a pushy approach. It's just like
it's a relationship to her.
Yeah, we have an understanding.
You have become family.
Yeah, we have an understanding. And Bill, are you cool with this? Like, I mean, I've never witnessed anything like it because I've been on 3 major deals. I've been turned down and signed by like every company in Nashville. I've had 7 publishing deals. I've been all over that town.
Oh yeah.
And so like it's always like sign here. When I first met Donna, I was like, let's just see how we work together.
Right.
And she showed me more without an autograph on a line than more people had showed me with me signing a contract. And for that reason, I would sign anything she puts in front of me.
Well, the one thing
that's on record.
I wanted Billy to do was start building a foundation, and I don't think that you can build a tribe without being a tribe.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? You
Absolutely.
have to. Yeah. And so that's what I felt like I wanted to build around him, was a team of people who truly saw the vision.
Oh,
yeah, because it can't be an island.
So were you high when you found me, or did you really like?
I didn't find you; you found me.
Oh, I love that. No, Billy found us.
I think
Billy found us.
Billy Hubbard, thank you.
Billy Hubbard, he's a door opener.
Well, I just need
That's what Billy Hubbard is, a door opener.
Oh, no,
for
I looked
people.
at Billy Droze.
The question was you high when I called you?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
That's why I said I'll have to think about it. I'll call you later.
Yeah,
We became best friends, though.
I know, we did. It was
I think
fun.
I tried to describe you to her, and I think she had I might have scared her a little bit.
What'd you say? Look at this Mexican sing.
Wow, anybody named Billy is a little wild,
Yeah,
and hard to corral.
I think that comes with the territory of the name Billy.
Yeah, it does.
Can I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
And I mean this, and you can completely edit this out if it's inappropriate or whatever, but I knew you before her, and I knew you before him. And as hard as it is to bring 2 ideas together and make them one, the budding about and the transitioning has actually made both of you grow. And I see how you have both grown in the places that you are into what is trying to actually become.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think it's been an amazing union, really. I mean, I'm proud of both of you.
I told her today on the way
you.
back from the bank, I said, music was only the medium, but it was no coincidence. The medium to get us to be together and friends and what we are. Like, I can be her emotional pillow, she can be mine. I call her all the time, and I get upset with myself because I'm like, oh my God, I got to call Donna and ask her advice again. But she don't care.
Well, now this is a different podcast. Usually we just have the artist. So I was that's why I was so happy that you both were here at the same time, because I think, it's good for an artist to understand the value of someone that they need. And it's very important, I think, to have someone that can have a relationship, because right now I'm signed with a label. I shouldn't talk about it, but man, it's like there's no, it's just like they're just cold. There's no personal anything, It's just like get an email.
I know when I talk to other managers in Nashville, it is all about numbers.
I know, and
100%.
It's like nobody wants to be your friend.
For an artist like Billy, he needs somebody that's more than just about the numbers. I'm all about analytics. I get into all of that, but I don't.
That's
have
your
to,
job, right,
drill
Donna?
him. Yeah,
That's your job.
Yeah.
Well, that's
is to be analytical about numbers and contracts and money but I think you saw that within my music and who I am. I think it lured you into just like, okay, this guy's about music. I mean, yes, numbers have to make sense. I understand that. That's been the biggest thing I didn't like about my music career.
I know, and it's so transparent now. Like you cannot hide your numbers. Your numbers are wherever people can go look. Like today, like a venue can go, oh, really? Blah, 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 and go look.
So
it's
like
there.
When we were talking about like my dad and all that stuff, it was like I was from that school where you just made great music and people found it.
Right.
Today it's different. Today it's not like that. You know, today it's like, how many videos did you post? How many social media blogs did you do? All this stuff that I was raised by a 90-year-old dude, you know, growing up.
Which is why you have an older following. But what I think is really cool that's evolving right now with him is younger people are finding out about him and realizing, my God, there's this guy I didn't even know. We were in Bristol and there were some girls from New York.
Oh, wow.
And they were young, like in their 20s, and they fell in love with him and they were like, we were forever fans.
Oh.
It's
But they
craziest.
had never heard of him before.
Signing an autograph for somebody less that's not 60 is weird for me, and it's amazing. So I was like signing some autographs. I'm like, oh my God, you're like 30.
Yeah,
like
he's
in your
starting
20s.
to pick up, younger people are starting to realize who he is, and it's cool
But
to
the
see
cool
that.
thing is, our music is now cool again. So the music that I make, it's neat because it's resonating with artists, or fans and people, and to a younger crowd because they think it's new. They think it's this new kind of music. And I want to tell them, I don't say nothing, but I want to tell them like, hey, this has been going on for like 60, 70 years, like 100 years. But they think it's new. They're like, oh my God, what is this new brand of country music?
Yeah.
What are you doing singing like, he stopped loving her today?
Oh, no.
They're like, oh my gosh. I'm like,
With a little banjo mixed in.
hey,
man.
that's kind of
cool.
like...
And that is Billy.
is
Billy
cool.
is
Right.
that, he channels that
Sure.
old, when he's singing, that's what
No,
you
he
hear.
does.
Well, you know what? I've never, Billy, I don't know if I tell you this, but from the first time you played, to be honest, I hope my bluegrass friends, I'm not they may not like this, but I'm not a huge fan of bluegrass. I mean, I like it, but I'm not something I'd ride down the road and listen to all day. But you have a blend that's sort of a country-ish blend of, and just always throw a banjo and don't really make it hardcore. But I like Mike last night. He was even on the, George Jones, or he knew how to pull it off, and it sounded very cool. And that
It did.
Mike's amazing at doing that. He really is great, talented.
So
So my whole band loves country music, right? And I'll never forget, I was looking for a place musically to go in my career, and I didn't know where to go. And I remember a beautiful dear friend of mine, his name is Ronnie Bowman. And Ronnie Bowman has written some of the biggest songs that we all know.
Yeah.
Ronnie Bowman's great. And I said, Ronnie, Bud, do I either go get a job at Taco Bell, or how about I just make a grass record? Do you think I'd resonate with bluegrass listeners? And he's like, yeah, Bill, let's go cut you a bluegrass record. And I'll never forget, I was cutting a country record, the same record that spawned me like 4 number ones. I was cutting a country record, and all I did was I muted the electric instruments on the recording because I was cutting a country record. And all I did was muted the electric instruments and added some banjo and fiddle and some harmonies and some Ronnie Bowman, production ideas.
Cool.
And it became, hit after hit after hit after hit after hit.
Wow.
And that was on that first record, on Rural Rhythm, that we cut that record.
I was
And
going to
so
say, what would that be? I want to go listen to that.
it's a record called To Whom It May Concern.
Oh,
And
yeah, that's right.
it's that the first record had 5 number 1 consecutive hits. And it was just, honestly, it was my country record that I muted the electric elements in it.
Wow.
So people
how
don't
weird.
understand, like, when you talk about cross genres and genres, it's just like the music is the music is the music. It just depends on how you present the music. I could present that record today, country. I could present it bluegrass. And after country and bluegrass, my mind doesn't work. So that's all it is. But everybody got freaked out. They were like, oh my gosh, this is a new type of bluegrass. No, it was just country infused bluegrass music that did very well for my family. I'm thankful for myself.
We need more of that personally. Sarah and I were listening to something the other day, and the more like the new country. And remember, I was telling you, I said, listen, that song, it was the same template of like the first other 3 we heard.
Can we talk about new country on this podcast?
Of course,
Because new country is not cool. I'm sorry. It's just not cool. And I don't care who quotes me. It's
I
just
mean, it
not
really
cool.
needs its own genre.
It has no, yes, it does.
Shouldn't
It
call
has no heart. It has no soul.
It has nothing.
I apologize, but I don't. I'm not sorry by saying that new country music sounds like crap. It's there's no musicality to it. There is no like pausing the electrified instruments, like I did for bluegrass. But it's just, I'm not bitter. I'm not mad about it. I think new country music needs to be, like Sarah said, maybe its own genre. Like, okay, let's put this into a file of.
Oh, give us a good name.
I would give you a good name right now, and I would say, maybe Outcast country music or something. I don't know.
Outcast country music.
I don't know. And I was told that on this podcast we couldn't cuss, so I went to Outcast country music.
Yeah.
But my thing is,
Well,
my thing
No,
is
actually,
this.
that would be a great SiriusXM channel. Outcast.
Oh,
The Outcast music.
I'll help you start it. But in growing up in country
You're a
music,
Sirius. Did you hear that?
yeah,
We have
here
a new
is
channel for you.
Randy Travis, Vern Gosdin, George Jones,
Oh,
Dwight
yeah.
Yoakam, Merle Haggard. These guys all had one thing.
right.
It was an identity. You could
Yeah,
hear them.
yeah.
You could hear every time you turned on the radio.
Something unique about each of them.
You heard it. That's Jones. That's Haggard. That's Dwight. That's Merle. Whatever. You don't get that anymore. It all sounds like the same brand. It's like, who wants to eat Kellogg's all the freaking time?
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
you
Kellogg's
have your Kit Kat theory.
Yeah, I did that whole theory years ago.
I thought the Kit Kat theory is awesome.
After I got off the road for like 4 days, I'd been on the road and I had tried to explain to country music fans what was going on in the genre of country music. And basically, I'm not going to get into the whole theory, but the theory is they're being force-fed one brand.
Yeah.
It's really not even the brand of country. Country music, you feel it. If you
man.
don't feel
It's
country music, then you're not listening to country music.
Oh, I know, man.
True.
You turn on that radio,
was,
and if you feel something, you're listening.
When I was in grade school, my mom and dad had
That's a
played Jim
great
Reeves
quote.
and all these country songs, and I would go to school as a little kid and feeling something. I'd feel emotional just singing, some of that
I think
in my head.
today people are so scared to feel emotions. I think they're so scared to feel the emotion of sadness or grief or anything that's not like happy. I'm drinking a beer on the truck bed in the riverbank.
Oh yeah,
And that's not what I promote. What I promote is like, hey, feel those damn emotions because you have to. You have to.
Yeah.
To like grow, you need to feel every emotion there is as a human
you know
being.
what? And that's something too that you got your studio recordings, but studio recordings are awesome because like when I have my headphones here, we're going to play something here in a little bit, but it sounds so great. You got the separation, but when you live, and that's what sets you apart from a lot of people that I book at the station, and I've been booking people for 10 years there, is that you do, like you said, you make your faces and you do a little body movement, a little touch of Elvis maybe every now and then. But I'm just saying that conveys emotion, and you can, and when I'm at the station, I look at, I'm there, when you're there so much, you kind of like try to, not bored, but, you just kind of like start looking at different things. And so my big thing is I like to watch the crowd. And when you're playing, I can be watching the crowd, and I love it when I see the body language of, in the video I shot live last night at the station, you can see people, but live performance, and you convey, I'm not just trying to make your head swell, but I'm just saying, that's the truth, and everybody don't do that. And that's part of being an entertainer, but it comes from your heart. It's hard to fake that. And I've seen people I was trying to remember, I had somebody once that was going through the motions, but there wasn't any feeling.
The other day, I was sitting in my driveway right next to my mailbox, and I was sitting there, and I realized that country music was taking a swing back, like the pendulum was coming back. And I remember thinking, hell yeah, because
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
this is what I do.
I
And
think it is.
I remember, like guys like Zach Top, he's killing it right now. I signed Zach Top 3 years ago to my Bluegrass label. This guy's out there making, I'm not going to expose what he's making a show, but he's killing it. I mean, he's
Cool.
out there on the biggest platforms in country music. And I remember when he came to my studio, and he said he called me up and he said, "Hey man, can I go make a country record?" And I said, "Well, yeah, Zach, what does that mean?" He goes, "That means I need to get out of my bluegrass deal with you." And I said, "Okay, it's all right. I love you."
Did you stay on your label, or did he exit your?
Well, the way record labels work is, I mean, I'll forever own that first record on him. I bought it.
Yeah.
And I said, "Yeah, man." I said, and I looked straight in his face. I'll never forget this. I said, "You go do that." I said, "As soon as I can, I'm right behind you."
Yeah.
And this kid is ushering country music back into country music.
How old is he?
Zach is 26, I think.
Oh, wow.
So I got 10 years
cool.
on him. And, I don't think that's a bad thing. I just think
Zach's great, and your style, your traditional country, but I think you're just a blend of a lot of different things that is different than Zach.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I praise and love on Zach just because I know him, I love him, and he's the guy that's being able, in 15 years that I've been in Nashville, I've been there longer, but in 15 years, he's the first cat I got to see that got to the gatekeepers of country music, where they let him in. Like, this guy is out there with Lainey Wilson, out there with all these huge stars. Just, he's getting, I saw and I have no shame in promoting this kid and saying,
That's cool.
The other day I saw him in a stadium, and it was just him and his guitar.
Yeah.
And singing his butt off. That's what I do every night. But it was in a stadium with 60,000 people. And they were just looking at this kid like, what's he doing?
Wow, man.
Oh,
that's
wow,
cool.
this is music. And I was like, hell yeah, it is.
Yeah,
that's the kind of thing
That is
that
cool.
excites me. Because you take all the smoke, show all the stuff away. Like, what is an artist? An artist is a guy that can stand there with his daggum guitar and make everybody in that 60,000 seat arena believe what he's saying.
Oh, man.
And that kid did it. And
I got to go listen to him now.
and I can do it. Right now I'm not in arenas, and that's okay. And thank you, Zach. I helped Zach at a time he needed my help, and maybe Zach will help me when I need his help. I want to be in those arenas too, singing those same songs with my guitar. It's all good.
Yeah, man. And I didn't get, of course, your bio has, I didn't give everything there at the intro. You got so much, man. You got quite a story, but I mean, and you had the dream of signing RCA, and I forgot who else. It was RCA, right? You signed with them when you were young.
Yeah, I was on RCA at 19, and then I had a little stint with Curb Records. I mean, like I said, I've been all over the gamut of record labels and publishers in Nashville, and figured way, started my own label. I figured ways to figure it out for myself.
Yeah, well, there's something that I was going to ask you advice for, because like I say, as myself, when I listen to podcasts about interviews with artists, is like for new songwriters that don't succeed, would you recommend that they destroy all evidence that they tried?
Absolutely not. No.
That's kind of a joke.
well, a lot of people ask me all the time, it's like, how do you write songs? What do you do? What do you do? Man, you take an idea and you believe it. And these days we have like all these precursors on how to do it, right? Like we can go on Google and say, hey, how do I write songs? And Google would probably give you
I know, but not everybody is poetic like you.
pretty accurate way to write a song, though. So being poetic, that's just my soul. But however, the science behind writing songs, that's different. Like I learned, and I've said it a lot of times in interviews, and I'll say it again. I've learned when I was a young guy, about 20, there was this guy named Billy Yates, and he was just an incredible writer. And he wrote Choices for George Jones. I Don't Need Your Rocking Chair for George Jones. A bunch of great hits. And he signed me to a publishing deal when I was about 20. And I was a good writer when I signed that deal, but I was a way better writer when I left that deal, when that deal was up. So about 3 or 4 years, because I learned from the guy. And you know what the guy did? I mean, I never knew. I just knew how to write innately. And I'm like, oh, this is how I write. This guy would just sit in a corner, and he was the coolest cat ever. Always smiling, big old smiley face, you know, and he wouldn't say nothing for about 30 minutes. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm sitting in the room with a weirdo. He's not saying anything. And about 30 minutes later, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it was, he'd say, how about we say this? And then he'd bark out the whole rest of the song.
Oh.
I mean, he was that kind of writer, you know. And then that kind of writer led me to other writers like that, like John Scott Sherrill and all these people that I got to write songs with that were way more smarter than me, you know. And they taught me, and I learned from those writers. And, man, God bless them. So now I get to be that weirdo in the corner when some new guy writes with me, and I'm like, okay.
It's a rite of passage.
Yeah, they're like, what's this guy doing? Is Billy freaking crazy?
Now, didn't you write what was that? You had a big hit that tied with him somehow, wasn't it? Billy Yates.
Man, we've written so many songs. I mean, he had my publishing for 3 or 4 years. Can't even.
I was trying to remember. It said, "That's Why I Run." Is that?
Oh, That's Why I Run. That was something he put out in Europe because Billy Yates is a big old star. There's something about the Billies, Billy Hubbard. We're just cool people. Billies are good. Have you ever met one bad Billy? I don't think you have.
Haven't, no. No, I haven't ever.
All Billies are great.
Yeah.
Except, well, we ain't going to go there.
That's true, Sarah.
Don't tell my heart. I'm joking.
You know what I love about Billy's writing, though? First of all, sometimes just you're sitting around in a room and you're talking to him, or he's talking about something that he's experiencing in life. And I'll be like, okay, I just wrote that down. You need to go write a song now. And he actually has a song he's getting ready to release.
I got a new record, a country record. It's my first country record in 10 years. And it's fun because, I don't care. I'm truthful. I'm an open book. Like, there's literally a song on my record that's coming out called Open Book. I'm an open book. I tell where I'm at in life because I think it will like precurse somebody else to be able to deal with wherever I'm at, you know? So anyway, I was having the crappiest time with my wife and I was like, what am I going to do? You know, and I looked at Donna that night.
We were at an Airbnb in Franklin.
Yep. And I said, hey, man, I just wish I could just go buy her a bunch of flowers and make her happy. I said, but I have bought every rose in Tennessee. And Donna looked at me and Donna said, you ain't leaving. You get your ass in there and you write that song. And now it's like almost. Yeah.
It's such a great song. I can't wait for it to come out.
That is a good measure.
And I bought every rose in Tennessee. And Donna made me record it and write it. And
cool.
So
I hadn't
thank
heard
you.
that one. Well, hey, speaking of your songs, I had one queued up here. We got to talking, man. Let's see. Let me. What's the backstory behind this one? It's kind of
Two solo two. I'll take it from you because I know.
It's a little weird. TU, where if you search for it, it's called T.
TUSOLO.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That is a folkloric mariachi song, and that's what that is. So my heritage is Spanish, and I just did this. I did it for my mama because my mama had never heard me sing in Spanish, and my heritage is Spanish, and so I just decided to do this only for my mother. And I'm a huge Selena fan. She cut this song, and so I figured I'd cut a bluegrass country version of it.
Oh, cool. Hey, let's play this. Let's give it a spin.
Can't you see how it left me, my love, after losing your love? Drinking to your memory while the passion and pain keep adding up. Look what you've gone and done, my love. I'm lost and damned here without you. Baby, look what you've done. Stop mourning for you. de todo mi llanto, de mi desencanto y desesperación. Mira cómo ando, mujer, por tu querer. Solo tu sombra fatal, sombra del mar, me sigue por donde quiera con obstinación. Y por quererte olvidar, me tiro a la borrachera y a la perdición. Has llenado de luto mi vida, abriendo heridas en mi corazón. Tú, solo tú, eres causa de todo mi llanto, de mi desencanto y desesperación.
Wow, that was a great song. Well, Billy, was that you doing all that Spanglish, or what would you call that? I'm sorry, I don't know.
So my heritage is Spanish, of course. My grandmother's from Spain. My mother's from Guatemala. I got that little ethnic thing going on, and I'm all about it. I mean, I embrace my heritage. It's really cool because, you know, I lived in Mexico for a while with my father. I just love the culture. It's great, man. They party hard. Their food's amazing.
The food. Oh,
I mean,
for food.
today, we went to a Mexican restaurant today, remember?
Yeah.
And I tipped those guys like
Not forget.
200.
There's no way to forget that. There will be never, ever, ever a forgetting that we went there.
I tipped
was
those
a great
guys like almost $200.
Oh my
And here's the
gosh.
deal.
Did we eat that much?
No, we did not. I was trying to pay my. I was trying
I
to pay.
don't think he tipped them $200.
No, listen to
No,
me.
it goes
For the
up. It
record.
started at 50.
No, it was $200. Here's the
Sure, I
deal.
heard
Buck
28,
95. There's a buck
$28.
95 in there.
No, I
$28
paid.
was his tip.
I paid $20 just to hear Selena over the restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
So I got my $20 Selena thing. That was great. But I said, "Here's for my ticket, $100." And you know what he said? Thank you. And I was like, "Okay, cool." So he took the $100 as a tip, and he still charged y'all for y'all's food. I was just trying to pay the bill.
Oh, man.
The bill.
We don't have to keep talking about this.
No,
Keep
no.
going.
No, that's
Fans
pretty
It's
good.
love-
been an all-day episode.
Fans love just to hear real stuff.
This
about,
is real.
This is absolutely correct.
Yeah.
So, what did you tip him, Bill?
Really?
$4.75.
Really have to go over this again?
I love you guys. We're just people love reality. People love seeing things.
That was interesting. We went there. Wait, was that girl? What's her name again? Selena.
Selena. Yes.
Was her picture on the wall?
Yes, right next to Michael Jackson
Oh,
in a
okay,
Mexican
yeah, at that
restaurant. So I
restaurant,
was like, "What's going on here?"
Well,
Did they ever answer you? Because you asked.
I think they were doing shrooms or something. Something had to be going on. You don't put Michael Jackson next to Selena in a Mexican restaurant with fajitas.
Shrooms.
We do not do that.
the crazy thing is, I was trying to buy your lunch, and you bought mine. I think we all bought each other's, and they didn't tell us any difference. So
I think we bought a bunch of green cards. I don't know at this point.
I was counting on you to be the expert at communicating.
I was trying. My Spanish is like a 40, maybe a 50.
Oh,
I learned to sing in Spanish.
The words mean the same.
Solo tú.
but was that you singing on
Has
that song?
llenado de
That was you
luto
singing,
mi
right?
vida. I learned to sing in Spanish as a kid because my grandmother, my mother, my grandmother was born in Spain. My mother was born in Guatemala. And so this music is such a huge
Oh man,
freaking fabric in the language of what the heck I am musically. And so,
And it's so romantic.
Oh,
it's
it is.
so
man.
beautiful.
I mean, you could even cuss in Spanish and you're like, whoa, that is so sexy.
Well, and some of the best dancing.
Oh my gosh.
South America and Spanish.
Here's one thing people
Flamenco.
do not know. Do you know that I am a super flamenco dancer? Salsa
you?
dancing. Yes, cumbia
Well, I
music.
love salsa.
Are you kidding me?
Love
Like
it.
I can shake my hips.
Really?
But flamenco is something I've always wanted to take classes.
I can teach you.
Because I was a belly dancer throughout
You're a
my
belly
days,
dancer.
But I wanted to move to that because it was a more dominant woman.
Yes.
Is that the same
I
as
love that.
salsa dance?
So, okay, Spanish dancing in general is just like, it's a very emotive, romantic, beautiful, like form of dance.
And language, like your
Oh my gosh.
communication.
It is insane.
But
I mean, the guys with the roses in their
salsa,
mouth,
though? Is that salsa dancing?
that would come from salsa.
Oh,
yes.
because I when I eat good salsa, I spin around and dance just for one, like 10 seconds. But
I knew you were going to do that.
Somehow, where did I not know that was coming?
I knew it was coming
mean,
too because he was talking about
I mean, he was
That's
baiting
salsa?
everybody.
I've
for
never-
everybody.
'cause
Let's
there-
just say
Because I'm thinking, I know better.
Do you know why I learned that? Is because when I was trying to type salsa on my iPhone and it was texting something and it came up with a
do
little
you
woman
like
dancing.
queso? Do you like cheese?
Oh, I
too?
love the little emoji.
Yeah, the emoji that came
so
up with the girl
cute.
dancing, and I thought, why is that doing a picture of a girl dancing? So I thought, oh wait a minute, salsa is music dancing.
Yeah,
Well, she's so small, all I hear is tss, tss, tss.
we have talked about.
Well, what I did was I took a
Not cha cha
screenshot.
cha, just
I took a screenshot of that emoji and I was expanded it and blew it up. I didn't even know what it was. I couldn't see it that good.
We've
So I-
talked about my musical or cultural music too much. Let's move on.
he's like,
I do love
We're
salsa, but
talking
I,
about back to
salsa
Billy.
emojis.
Let's go back to Billy.
Oh, wait,
I
was
do like cheese dip.
Oh.
Who likes cheese dip?
I had
yeah.
chicken and cheese today, so yeah, it was pretty good.
Well, okay, let's get back to serious. Okay.
Billy Hubbard.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Oh, together, with bluegrass superstar Rhonda Benson, you hosted that 2018 ICMA Awards show at the Grand Ole Opry, of course. And anyway, so I'm trying to figure out, how did you get that gig, man? That seems like a fun thing.
Yeah, they called me and asked me to host this whole event, and I was like, no. And then they're like, it's at the Grand Ole Opry House, and I'm like, yeah, okay.
Rhonda Benson, man, she's pretty cool.
And so I
Yeah.
called my buddy. Go ahead. Sorry.
You did it again this year. This year, you did the ICMAs.
I didn't host it. I got an award
Right.
there.
Oh, right.
Oh,
The hosting is a big deal. So I went to like Suntan City and I frickin' bleached my teeth, got them as white as they could be. It was great. I went and got me a
I
tuxedo.
was going to say, you got to get a fancy outfit for that.
Yeah, I mean,
man.
I spent I took some savings out, got like an $800 tuxedo.
Holy
I
cow.
bleached my teeth. I got me a frickin' spray tan. Just,
WDVX. We'll edit that out.
You owe me $100 now.
I didn't mean to. I got me a frickin' spray
No, you have
tan.
to put a bleep in there and play that whole
Spray
thing.
tan.
I got a spray tan.
Did they give you expense account for all that?
No, you get naked and you put your hands up
That's
like
what I
you're
was afraid you
stole
were going to say.
something.
What did you cover?
Why did
cover
you feel
nothing.
like your whole body needed to be tan?
If you're listening to this and you're wondering, are those people having fun? Hell yeah. We are having a blast. Let me now I'm going to take over for a minute.
No, I was totally
No.
you totally overrode me.
I'm about to count you in.
Okay, we gotta get. Okay,
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is
10-9.
Billy Droze. Let's welcome Donna to the podcast. Donna,
Okay.
what are your thoughts on this?
No, I'm not, we're not. We're moving past that topic. We're going to start talking about your latest song that's coming out
She is all business, by the
9/9
way.
and 9/20, which is "Lead Me" with your beautiful wife Maria.
can you start all over? Because I gotta have a clean
Oh,
cut.
so now-
I gotta
now
have a
you want
clean
me to
cut
be-
right here. Hang on a minute.
Donna,
What happened?
kick him under the table.
What
Now you want me to
happened?
be
No, I'm
serious?
not touching Billy Hubbard
no,
with
no.
my feet.
What I'm saying is,
serious now, Donna? Yeah. Okay, here we go. Let's
Listen.
be serious. Cut. Here. Okay. Billy, cut.
okay, here we go.
The brand new single is I can't do it. One more try.
Turn and look around at the wall. Don't quit looking at me.
Let's not try not to be so formal about it.
Have I been formal? Okay.
He's trying to be formal.
there's literally nothing formal about anything.
Billy Hubbard is trying to be formal.
Watch this. You were superstar Rhonda Vincent, and when you hosted that 2018 ICMA Awards at the Grand Ole Opry, and that's pretty impressive that you were. To me, that's quite an honor to get up and give awards to people that are possibly, your people that you idolize, maybe to some degree.
Yeah, that was neat. Like my thing with calling Rhonda, I just wanted her to be like a person present there because everybody that were winning awards that night were, all bluegrass and country music fans, and they kind of idolized Rhonda, and so it was fun. Like,
yeah,
we just hit it off. And here's what I learned about Rhonda. Like, to be honest with you, like on the record, that girl works so hard, and she got the title of like Queen of Bluegrass, the Queen of Bluegrass.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? She really fulfills those shoes. And here's why she fulfills them. Like, she works her butt off all the time. But man, every single time, that girl's, when I go do a show and I'm ahead of Rhonda opening the show or whatever, that girl's out there with them fans everywhere. That girl is right there with them fans, loving on them, kissing on them, signing whatever they want to sign. She's the hardest working woman in bluegrass music I've ever known. She's great.
Yeah, that's cool.
To be honest, I'm going to predict it right now. She's America's next Dolly. She will be like that.
The whole time you're saying that, I was thinking, well, is she like the Dolly of the bluegrass world? Sounds like it. Wow, man.
Dolly loves bluegrass.
Well, yeah. Well, man, it's been great hanging out with you guys here. And like I say, we're all great friends, and Sarah and I value you guys, your friendships, and we really always love it. Come around once a year at the station, and so I guess we need to wrap this thing up here and get going. What's coming up here on when's your next album? I know your Billy Kid was your last one, right?
Yeah, that was the bluegrass record. We're getting ready to release a country record, and I'm so excited about that. I'm taking my time on the country record. I'm not going to rush any of this, and so it's going to come out, I'd say, in about the next 6 months, to be honest. A full, all the way through country record.
Oh, cool. Well, Donna, what's going on in your world there? Edit.
So, Two Solo 2 is a beautiful song, but I'm real excited about the new release that we're working on that comes out to Radio 9/9, September 9th. Release date to other music media sources on the 20th. And it's called Lead Me, and it's Billy and Maria, and it's beautiful. It's absolutely a stunning song. And I think it could be a great wedding song, first dance. It's just inspirational for how a relationship goes and how some, like you have to take turns leading each other. You have to take turns being each other's friends. And when somebody can't show up that day, you can. Yeah. And that's kind of how I see it. And so I'm excited about that song coming out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and that's Maria with a J. That's Billy's best half there. That's pretty cool.
It's funny. I go to all these shows and I'll be like, people come up with Billy Droze shirts on, and I'm good with that. But you know what most of them say, Billy Hubbard?
What?
Hey, is your wife here? and I am so elated about it. But a lot of times I'm like, no. What about my songs?
Yeah.
Everybody loves Maria. Like, her voice is angelic to a point that I literally married her on a whim just because her voice was so good.
Oh yeah, that's a whole other cool story about your European tour when you went over. I don't know if we even got into that, but
I just said, hey, you sing like an angel. Let's get married. 4 kids later, here we are, 2024.
Where was it? Lithuania. Where'd you meet her at?
Lithuania.
Lithuania, yeah. Like I said, the Tennessee version.
Lithuania. It was funny. I was over there on tour, and we were doing a 9-country tour of Eastern Europe. And the guy that booked it all, he's a beautiful soul. His name was Peter Dula, and he was dying of cancer. And his biggest ambition in life was to book an American country music tour in Eastern Europe. And he chose me to do it.
Oh.
And I was so thankful. He came over here, but he only had like 6 months to live. It was nuts.
What?
Yeah.
When he booked it?
When he booked it. And so I went over there. I stayed at his apartment. And I will never forget. One night I asked him, I said, dude, I fell in love with this girl from Lithuania, man. He said, no. He said, Lithuania's the armpit of Europe. Don't you do it.
Oh, really?
And then I said, no, Peter. I said, man, I'm in love with this girl. I'm going to have kids with her. We're going to be awesome. He said,
they got 3, right?
Yep, 4.
4.
He said, go do it.
You have 4. Oh, wow.
He said, go do it.
Wow, man.
We did.
Well, and
This
the
is-
and the pork and the guy.
Are we still talking?
Did
Or is this podcast?
Did he? No, it's still
Can I say
podcast.
something about Maria though? Seriously, like I do find her voice so beautiful that this is pretty gutsy of me to say, but I would compare her to Alison Krauss.
Emmylou Allison, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
absolutely. She's got an amazing
Yeah,
voice.
she is amazing, man.
So we were on like this crazy little reception hall in a hotel in Visaginas, Lithuania. It's like this, who knows? So we're there, and hearing her sing it was crazy. It was like she's bad at the bone, but
yeah, she's beautiful voice. Wow. Of course, she didn't make it here with this time, but I've heard her, man. I did.
you throw that voice and some vodka together, you're getting married. You're getting married. Somebody's marrying up. That's what's happening.
Wow, man.
Because
Boy.
close to Russia, it's only vodka, Billy Hubbard.
Oh, I know. I've heard about that Russia vodka there. It reminds me of my young days when I would drink. What, we used to mix that with orange juice or something and then barf it up later.
Not me.
Yeah, that was great. Just kidding. Well, hey, anyway, it's been fun, guys, and appreciate y'all hanging out with us. This is
Yep, thank you.
it's totally more fun.
Sarah, did you have fun? I had
Oh my
fun.
goodness, you guys
I
are
had a
crazy.
blast.
I love you all.
I love you guys.
Thank
We
you.
love you guys.
Yeah, big thanks to Billy Droze and Donna Sue Roberts. Man, it's always fun doing this kind of thing with our friends. Well, be sure and check out Billy online. I think I saw it was billydrozeofficial.com.
Yes,
Is that
sir.
right? Yeah.
We're on Bands in Town for all of his shows.
Yeah. If you can catch him live, I mean, studio recordings are awesome, but you got to catch him live.
Live is magical, for
Yeah.
sure. Yep.
Well, anyway, big thanks to my best half, Sarah, here for
It was fun.
hosting with me. And, please like, share, and subscribe to My Backstage Pass on your favorite platform.
I think it's a
And,
Billy thing. Billy's like Sarah's. Love you,
Yeah.
Sarah. Thank you for having me here.
yeah, man, we appreciate
You
it.
were a lot of fun.
Anyway, see you guys next time, and happy trails.